Kappelman, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Craig Isom.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly for the jurors.
Please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Craig Isom, C-R-A-I-G I-S-O-M.
How are you employed?
I'm currently retired.
Congratulations. Where did you work when you worked?
Sent to Tallahassee Police Department.
How long were you with the Tallahassee Police Department?
28 and a half years.
Were you assigned to investigate the murder of Dan Markel?
I was.
How long did Dan Markel live after being shot?
I believe my understanding was around approximately 11 hours.
As part of your investigation, were the people closest to the victim interviewed,
Yes.
including his ex-wife, Wendy Adelson?
Yes.
When and where did you approach Wendy Adelson?
She was at a restaurant in Tallahassee on Market Street.
What date and time did you approach her at the restaurant?
That was on the day of the shooting, which was July 18th, 2014. July 18th, 2014. It was approximately 2:15 in the afternoon.
All right, so approximately 3 hours and 15 minutes after the shooting?
Approximately, yes.
What did you say when you approached her?
I told her that I needed to discuss something with her in private. She was with two other individuals at the table.
Two ladies having lunch?
3 total, yes.
All right, and when you told her that you need to speak with her, were you wearing police insignia? Did you identify yourself as law enforcement?
Immediately before I identified myself and said that I was there for the purpose of speaking with Wendy Adelson.
Okay.
And I had my badge on. I was readily identifiable as a police officer.
All right, and did you reassure her that she wasn't in any trouble? Did you?
Yes, I got her to step away from the table she was eating at, approximately 10, 15 feet out of earshot of the other two individuals that were sitting at the table. And I told her that I needed to discuss with her something that happened with her ex-husband and that her children were not involved. I reassured her because the children had already been checked on, they were still at the daycare, and they were fine.
As part of this approach of Wendy Adelson, were there any handcuffs involved?
No.
Any Miranda rights read?
No.
Any use of force at all?
No.
She was not detained or under arrest?
No.
At any time did you tell her she was a suspect in anything?
No.
Was she a suspect in anything at that moment?
No.
At any time during your interview, did you do anything that would treat her as a suspect?
No.
In fact, you told her several times in the interview that she was not a suspect, isn't that right?
I did.
Did you ever accuse her of anything?
No.
Did you provide her with a victim advocate?
Yes.
Is that something that your office typically does for next of kin when a tragedy has occurred?
Yes.
Did you allow her to access her phone during the interview?
Yes.
What did you learn about the victim's relationship with his ex-wife, Wendy Adelson?
They had gone through it and were still fighting in a contentious divorce regarding child custody.
With child custody?
Including child custody.
All right, I'm going to approach with state's demonstrative A. Have you had an opportunity to review this exhibit before today?
Yes.
What is that exhibit?
It's all of the filings from the divorce case between Wendy Adelson and Daniel Markel.
starting with the petition for divorce and ending at the time of his death. Is that right?
Correct.
And the filings in here, have you had an opportunity to review them?
Yes.
All right, and did this litigation include arguing over things so petty as a tennis racket?
It did.
Objection, Your Honor. Nothing's been entered into evidence, and we would object to a witness testifying to the contents of the file.
Overruled, the witness may testify concerning his personal knowledge of the investigation.
Thank you, Judge. As part of these proceedings, did Wendy Adelson seek to relocate with the children from Tallahassee to South Florida?
She did.
Did she say why she wanted to relocate to South Florida?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustain the answer to the call for hearsay unless you have an exception.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 60. Have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 60?
Yes.
Are those the portion of the divorce filings contained in State's Demonstrative A that can be directly linked to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Meaning she saw those items.
Yes.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I believe that's what Ms. Kappelman is doing right now. Overruled. You may continue, Ms. Kappelman.
Move into evidence, State 60, Your Honor.
Please approach. Please be seated. What's that? You can step down, Mr. Isom. Please step outside the courtroom. Sure. All right. At this point, I'm nearing becoming inclined to send the jurors home for the day, as we are wasting a significant amount of time on matters that were either previously litigated or now are still being challenged for reasons that could have been handled out of court. Mr. Zellman, for any item that is being objected to with State 60 that you are claiming has no tie to your client's communications, you need to look through that binder now.
Judge, part of the objection that we're making concerning that is without laying the foundation through a witness with personal knowledge, there is no tie to my client. Anything, and specifically anything post-dissolution, so post-July 31st of 2013 that's in here, there's no evidence.
I heard this argument previously.
Yes.
It has been ruled upon.
Yes.
At this point, if the state has multiple witnesses that the foundation can be laid through, your objection will be noted for the record, but we are going to move on. If you need to look through this binder to match it up with specific communications in which you believe no foundation can be laid, you'll need to take the time. But as far as wasting the jurors' time on this any further today, what else does a defense need to look through concerning these exhibits? Before we leave here today, if we need to go through every single state exhibit to deal with any objections concerning them, we will do so, however long that takes. But we're not going to be wasting the jurors' time.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, subject to our objection concerning establishing the foundation for proving my client's knowledge, we're ready to proceed.
Concerning that, Ms. Kappelman, between former Detective Isom, Wendy Adelson, or any other witnesses, are you going to be establishing the foundation as to the defendant's knowledge or connection through multiple witnesses?
May I have a moment, please?
Go ahead.
Judge, I had not planned to do that. I provided this exhibit to the defense. I had not heard anything about an objection, so I had not planned to go through every single piece of paper with this witness. I can do that, but that is going to take some time. I will need a recess to prepare for that. I do have a list of how each piece of paper is related to the defendant, but this witness isn't prepared to go through every single piece of paper in this exhibit.
Are you requesting for me to send the jurors home for the day?
No. I think I've complied with the court's ruling, and I'm requesting that the exhibit be admitted pursuant to that, and we move on.
There does have to be a foundation as to the nexus between the defendant's either communications or actions and these pleadings. That was the ruling. For what was provided in discovery,
Is that something that needs to be done in front of the jury, Judge, or is that something we could tie up later and move on right now?
you can tie up later, but it will not be admitted until the foundation is tied up.
Okay, Judge, I think that would be my preference then.
Very well. Please bring the jurors up. Please direct Detective Isom to come back in and take the stand. Detective Isom, come back in. Everyone can be seated. You may continue your examination, Ms. Kappelman.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to approach with State's Exhibit 64. Do you recognize State's 54?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
These are the emails, I believe. believe these are from Wendy Adelson's computer.
Was a search warrant issued to Wendy Adelson's Google account?
Yes.
And did we receive emails subject to that search warrant?
Yes.
And does State's Exhibit 64 contain fair and accurate copies of emails between Wendy Adelson and Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Alright, and if you'll turn to the yellow tab there. In particular, are you familiar with this email? And for the record, Judge, this is tab AA.
This is. Yes.
Is that an email that was sent from Wendy Adelson to Donna Adelson? On the bottom.
This is from Donna.
Well, okay. It starts out as something from Danny, right?
Right. Dan sends this email to Wendy,
Okay.
and it's
what is,
CC'd to another individual.
okay. And what does Wendy do with it?
She forwarded it to her mother.
Okay. And is the content of the email related to what we referred to as the grandma motion?
Yes.
What is the grandma motion?
This is where Dan
Your
Markel.
Honor,
What is the objection?
first of all, lack foundation, and it's hearsay at this point.
Overruled as to lack of foundation. The investigator may testify as to his personal knowledge of the investigation. Concerning hearsay, Ms. Copeland.
Did Mrs. Adelson respond to this email?
Your Honor, gonna object again. Mrs.
One
Adelson.
moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff is going to take a vote. Investigator Isom, if you could step down, please, sir. So, not to sound like a broken record, but that part where the jurors need to go home so the issues concerning these documents can be worked through, concerning that, Mr. Zellman, what is your position?
Judge, I've said all along.
I know what your argument is, but as to the items that the state is seeking to admit today, are there going to be more challenges of this nature? If you have objections, I will rule on them. But we're not going to waste the jurors' time.
Judge, as to 64AA, my client and her husband shared an email address. There's no evidence as to who sent the response that the state is trying to get to.
How many parts of 64 is the defense objecting to? Capital, concerning AA, does the foundation need to be laid amongst multiple witnesses, or is Detective Isom capable of doing this?
As far as to whom the email address belonged, that will have to be tied up with Wendy Adelson.
Very Well, is there any other parts of Exhibit 64 that need to be dealt with now while the jurors are out of the room? Please look through it.
Just AA, Your Honor.
Are there any other exhibits that pertain to Detective Isom that need to be dealt with while the jurors are out of the room?
Would you like to know what items I intend to introduce, Judge, through him?
Please, so we can handle these objections now, and there will not be a constant back and forth where the jurors need to leave the room.
Exhibit 55.
I think we stipulated for that.
Well, 60 is the divorce excerpts, which again, we're going to deal with separately. The email, 64, my understanding is we're going to deal with AA, and then the rest of it is going to come into evidence with this witness at this time. 65, Mr. Rivera's ticket, which is certified. 66, Garcia's ticket, which is certified. 67, Save Gas records with certification. 68, Adelson Institute records with certification.
Are there any objections by the defense that need to be handled out of the presence of the jury concerning these items?
No, Your Honor.
There's a couple more, Judge.
Go ahead.
89, Premiere video clips. 90, bus video clips. 119 is a thumb drive containing the raw data from Premiere, and 120 is a thumb drive containing the raw data from the bus.
No objections to those, Your Honor.
Please bring back in the detective.
That.
As to AA, whichever portion of the foundation you're capable of laying with the detective, you can at least start it with them. As to the rest of it, you can seek to admit it if the foundation can be laid without it, or without any other witnesses. Please bring back in the jurors. Everyone can be seated. You may continue with your examination of Mr. Isom as it relates to the foundation.
Mr. Isom, you, I believe, previously indicated that you reviewed the divorce file as part of your investigation.
Yes.
And that's the court file.
Yes.
All right, and as part of your investigation, did you review the emails that were subject to Wendy Adelson's Google search warrant?
Yes.
And in those emails, was there an email in which the contents of, well, let me ask you first about the motion. Did you review a motion where Dan Markel was seeking to restrict Donna Adelson's access to the children?
Yes, I did.
All right, and that motion was filed with the court.
Yes.
It was pending at the time of his death.
Yes.
And did you find in the emails any evidence that the contents of that motion were sent to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
And is that tab AA of State's Exhibit 64?
Yes.
And are the contents of that email substantially similar to the allegations made in the court filing?
Substantially, yes.
Okay. And what is the gist of what it is that Dan Markel is requesting?
He does not want Donna Adelson to have unsupervised contact with his children
Why not?
because of the statements that are made in here and that was shown in the court filing, that the children reflected that Grandma says you're stupid, Grandma says she hates you.
And
Judge.
Isom, please do not read from any document that has not been admitted.
at this time, Judge, I would ask to admit State's Exhibit 64.
All parts or just the part that does not include AA?
Subject to tying up AA, I would seek to admit the whole thing.
States 64, any objection?
Just the objection previously made, Your Honor.
Concerning States 64, it will be admitted except for Part AA and any later foundation that needs to be addressed.
Did, in your review of these emails contained in State's Exhibit 64, the defendant, Donna Adelson, use any strong language against Dan Markel?
Yes.
Did she call him any names?
Yes.
I would ask you to review State's Exhibit 64, tab DD. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes.
What email is that?
This is from Donna to Wendy.
And does she call Dan any names in that email?
She calls him Elvis.
How about asshole?
I know it's in here.
Take your time. Have you ever seen an email where she called him an asshole?
I've seen an email, but I don't see it here.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Tab M, please.
Emma?
M as in Mike.
M.
Did she, I guess tell us who it's to, who it's from, and the date, please.
It's from Donna to Wendy, March 6th, 2013.
Does she call Dan Markel any names in that email?
Yes, she does.
What names does she call him?
In this
Name.
in this particular email, after the first paragraph, it says that she calls him a major fucker.
Please refer to tab Q, a May 3rd of 13 email.
Yes,
Does that email, is it from Donna to Wendy?
it is.
And does it reference Wendy's relocation efforts?
Yes,
Does it indicate that Wendy's relocation efforts are extremely important to Donna Adelson?
yes,
Please reference tab V as in Victor, a June 25th email. Are you familiar with the court filing in which relocation was denied?
yes,
Do you know on which date relocation was denied?
June 20th, 2013.
So this is email on tab V as in Victor. Is it 5 days after relocation was denied?
It is June 26th, 2013.
Does Donna Adelson, the defendant, propose another plan to facilitate relocation in light of the court's ruling?
Yes,
So this is done after the court's ruling,
correct.
and relocation is still being discussed.
Yes.
Okay, what does she suggest?
She suggests that the children between Wendy and Dan start attending, or her at least the ruse of them going to a Christian church or a Catholic church.
And to take pictures of it and send it to Dan Markel, right?
Yes,
To strong arm him into agreeing to the relocation, right?
correct. Coercion.
Did Donna Adelson, the defendant in this case, suggest a bribe to Dan Markel to cause him to allow these kids to be moved to South Florida?
Yes.
Draw your attention to tab W. What is the proposal in reference to this bribe?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yes.
Okay? Were there any death benefits, any monies that were to be gained from the death of Dan Markel?
Yes.
Did he have a life insurance policy?
He did.
What was the amount of the life insurance policy?
One of them was for $2 million.
And a second one for $60,000?
$60,000 from a second one through the law school.
Were there any survivor benefits for these kids in the event of Dan's death?
There was
What are those?
$4,800 a month.
Who gets that money for the disbursement of the kids?
Wendy Adelson.
What about through his employment at FSU Law School? Did he have a pension there?
Got a pension, a deferred comp, 401k,
And an estate worth some money, right?
approximately $300,000.
What was the total value of Mr. Markel's estate?
2.7 million.
As part of your investigation, did you attempt to establish a timeline of the victim's activities prior to his murder?
Yes.
What did he do that day?
At 8:50 a.m., he dropped off his children at the preschool daycare on West Tharp Street. From there, he proceeded to go back across town to Premier Fitness Gym off of Village Square Boulevard.
Was there any surveillance at the gym?
Yes,
And was that collected by law enforcement?
it was.
All right. Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence State's Exhibit 119, a thumb drive containing the surveillance collected from Premier Gym.
Any objection? There you are. States 119 is admitted.
And was the raw data or surveillance video collected from the gym compiled in a way that shows what it is we're looking for concerning Mr. Markel?
That's correct, yes.
Was that done in State's Exhibit 89?
I believe so.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence State's 89.
Any objection? There you are. States 89 is admitted.
Were you able to see on this gym surveillance video Mr. Markel's vehicle enter the parking lot of the gym?
Yes,
At what time does he enter the parking lot of the gym?
I believe it was 9:11,
9:11 sound right?
yes.
And we're talking about AM, so you said he dropped the kids off at 8:50 and he arrives at the gym at 9:11?
8:50 a.m. is when he dropped the children off, and he signed them in at the daycare. And then at 9:11 is when you see his car enter the parking lot at Premier, all on July 18th, 2014.
And were you able to see anything sinister about the parking lot of Premier Gym on the morning of Mr. Markel's shooting?
Following Markel's car entering the lot, a short time later, a vehicle enters the lot that is similar in description from the next door witness, Mr. Geiger.
And what does the suspect vehicle do when Mr. Markel enters the gym?
It parks and no one gets out of the car.
How long does the suspect vehicle stay there while Mr. Markel's in the gym?
I don't recall the exact amount of time, but it's quite some time that the whole time he's in the gym, and even after he comes out, gets back in his car and leaves. That's when the car leaves at the same time.
All right, so the whole time he's in the gym doing his workout, this suspect Prius is in the parking lot.
Correct.
And when he comes out to leave and gets in his vehicle, what happens with the Prius then?
The Prius follows.
Judge, at this time, I would ask to introduce State's Exhibit 89. I'm sorry, I have introduced it. I'm asking to publish it at this time.
Publish.
Thank you. Is this black vehicle Mr. Markel's vehicle?
Yes, it's a black Honda four-door. Same car.
And that's Mr. Markel parking right there behind the flagpole.
That's correct.
What is this vehicle?
That will be the suspect vehicle,
And is
green
the-
Prius.
Okay, consistent with the description given by Mr. Geiger?
They said a light colored or silverish, and the car color is a silver pine mica.
Who's that in the blue circle?
That's Mr. Markel exiting his vehicle.
That's him in the red shirt?
That's correct. It's Mr. Markel entering Premier's main doors.
What do we see in this image?
I'm sorry.
What do we see in this portion of the tape?
That's the suspect vehicle, the Prius, driving through the parking lot.
At this point, is Mr. Markel inside the gym?
He's inside, yes. This is still in the front section where the car went from right to left.
This is still part of the Premier Gym parking lot?
Correct, yes. It's just the opposite, camera facing the opposite direction. And it's the car reversing course coming back towards the front doors.
Yep. Okay, now what's the time on the video here?
I can't read 10:30. I think it
Okay.
says 10:38.
Is this Mr. Markel exiting the gym at this
He's
point?
exiting the Premier in the same door he came in. I'm sorry, it's 10:33 on the timestamp.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Markel making his way to the parking lot where his car is parked.
Once he gets in the car, does he sit there a few minutes, or is that at the front end?
I'm sorry?
Does he sit in his car for a few minutes at one point?
Just a short period of time. Then his car starts backing up.
There's that.
That's him exiting.
And will we see the suspect vehicle pull out
It's coming
behind
from the
him?
back side. See it? Same suspect vehicle following the direction of Markel's car.
All right, and it exits the parking lot at 10:39 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And based on what would be the logical route from here to Mr. Markel's home, did you try to get some additional surveillance to see if you could catch the suspect vehicle any further?
Yes.
What was that?
That was, the location was the business, no, I'm sorry, it was a bus video off of a bus at McClay Commerce Boulevard and Thomasville Road.
All right. And were you able to actually find some bus video from both before and after the shooting of the suspect vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And were those the raw data that you collected from the bus compiled into clips similar to what we saw on the gym video?
That's correct.
All right, Judge, at this time I would ask to move into evidence State's Exhibit 120, a thumb drive containing the bus raw data, and State's Exhibit 90, a disc containing the bus video clips.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
States 90 and 120 are admitted.
Permission to publish States 90.
You may.
All right, if you can pause it for just a minute. Can you orient us? Is this the McClay Commerce?
Yes, this is, the bus is pointing east. So just beyond that circle is where the flyover starts. If you're going southbound, you can take the flyover to get on Capitol Circle after you pass McClay Gardens and everything. So this car is on Thomasville Road, not the flyover, and it is going southbound.
All right, and this camera is mounted on the bus. That's how we were able to get this image?
Correct.
Okay.
This is a city bus.
Continue, please. And the time on this, 10:44 a.m., is
Correct.
that right? And what is this orange circle?
This is the Prius going the same direction as Markel's car, southbound on Thomasville Road.
Okay, now where are we?
This is southbound on Thomasville. We've gone underneath the I-10 overpass, and we're at Metropolitan Boulevard, and the bus just so happens to pull up right behind the Prius.
Based on the image in this exhibit right here, were you able to deduce the tag number of the Prius?
No.
That would have saved you a lot of
A
trouble,
lot
wouldn't it?
of time, yes. The video could not be enhanced anymore.
Does the evidence suggest that Markel had already gone on through past this traffic light?
Correct, because this car was behind Markel's car. So he must have beat the light or got through the intersection before this car.
Okay, now can you orient us?
Believe we're now at Thomasville Road, southbound at Benton. And that circle was the Prius in the left turn lane to go from Thomasville eastbound on Benton Road.
And is that the way to Mr. Markel's residence?
Not this time. He turned beforehand, we found out later on.
We found out later that Mr. Markel turned later on.
Yes,
But this is the
car
way the
turned.
suspect vehicle goes.
Right, he turns left.
Okay, can you get to Mr. Markel's residence from Benton Road?
Yes.
The way he turned?
Yes.
All right, now, can you back it up, please? So the last time we see the suspect vehicle turning off Thomasville onto Benton Road is what time? Hit play, please.
10:40, no, 10:51.
Okay. And what time does our, pause it please, what time does our 911 call come in?
11:02 a.m.
Okay, so he was killed between 10:51 and 11:02.
Well, we narrowed it down even more than that, but.
Okay. Tell me how you narrowed it down further.
Well,
than that.
this bus now, this is a different bus. Same city bus group, but this is a totally different bus. It's northbound on Thomasville Road. So based on the times, this bus is northbound, the shooting has already happened. And you'll see that the Prius catches up in the same lane as that black vehicle there next to the bus at 10:55, I believe. 10:55. Here it comes.
So that helps you narrow it down to what as the time of death?
10:50. Well, at 10:51, he's in the Prius is in the turn lane. At 10:55, they've already left Prescott and they're northbound towards I-10.
Okay, and you say they. Why do you say they?
Well, here shortly you'll see what appears to be two different individuals in the front seat of this car.
See something white moving around in the passenger seat?
Yeah, the white shirt, the person in that side of the car seems extremely animated, excited. And the other side, the best view that I've ever gotten is someone's in a black, solid black shirt or upper top.
All right, and this is a slowed down version to try to get a better look at those occupants. All right, what are these orange circles indicating?
These are characteristics of this car that we found to be unique. The passenger side mirror is solid black. These cars have, when they come new, the mirror is the same color as the car, the mirror casing on the outside. This one's been replaced, it appears, because it's black. The circle in the middle of the top of the windshield, that appears to be a sun pass or toll type pass activator. And then the lower bumper circle, that's where a tow hook can be threaded in for towing purposes, but otherwise it has a cap over it, and the cap is missing.
Were you able to deduce anything about the year of the Toyota Prius?
Based on the research that we did through Toyota, this was established to be a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius, and the color, as I said before, was silver pine mica.
All right, is it fair to characterize your investigation as having kind of two different veins at this point? We're looking at motive over here and we're looking at the Prius over here.
Correct.
Okay, and you mentioned the SunPass transponder, so we know this Prius, I'm assuming it's not the only silver pine mica Prius between 06 and 09 in the state.
Correct.
All right, so what do we do to try to track down the SunPass transponder?
I contacted Florida Department of Transportation, who administers the SunPass, and wanted to find out, what's the likelihood of that kind of car having a SunPass, and I was overwhelmed with, there was thousands. So that wasn't narrowing down anything very quick.
At that time, was SunPass more affiliated with South Florida, or did pretty much everybody in Tallahassee have one?
No, south and central, anything Orlando south for the most part.
Okay. Did you have any indication based on the surveillance video available as to where the vehicle went after it fled from Markel's residence?
I just know that right here it's going northbound towards I-10 from Thomasville.
All right. Let's watch to the end.
This intersection is Armistead, so this is north of Benton, heading back towards I-10.
Was any cell phone analysis worked on in this case?
Excuse me?
Cell phone analysis?
Yes.
Who performed the cell phone analysis?
Sergeant Corbett.
Okay, and is that something that was going on simultaneously as you doing this SunPass
That's correct.
thing? Okay. And did Corbett's work include trying to look for phones of interest traveling in the areas that we know where you found our suspect vehicle?
That and Premier Jim.
Okay. And we will talk to Sergeant Corbett later, but based on his analysis, did you have an idea or develop an idea of the route that your suspects may have taken?
Yes.
All right, and what did you do to follow up on that?
Well, initially, because of our large expanse of cars, we started looking for South Florida at any cars going through the interchange southbound at Wildwood, where you get on the turnpike from I-75. That was a bust. We didn't. It was way too many. We couldn't find anything that was concrete. So once the phone analysis was done, we had a better idea that there was one particular number, and tracking that went southbound on I-75 all the way to Naples, and then crossing over on Alligator Alley, which is still I-75, from west to east, from Naples to Broward County.
And once you learned that it was actually this other route than what you would expect, were you able to do anything with in reference to the toll plazas and the SunPass transponder that you weren't able to do previously?
That's correct.
Okay, tell us about that.
Once we had that established, then I contacted the SunPass administrators again at Department of Transportation, and I explained to them what I had. I said, we got a Prius, a 2006 to 2009 Silver Pine Mica. Not that they had that in the records. I says, but we have them going through approximately this toll plaza in Naples, going westbound. And once I gave them that and the time, within a couple minutes of when they would have gone through, they showed an activation with a transponder from the windshield at that toll plaza in Naples in Collier County, and there was only one Prius, and that's what we determined, that it was going back to South Florida and cutting across Alligator Alley.
All right, and were you able to backtrack and find the toll plaza record or SunPass record of the vehicle coming to Tallahassee as well?
Correct. On the 16th of July, that same transponder, we're talking about the sticker on the windshield, that same transponder went through from Broward County, West Broward County, through the other end of the toll plaza. There's one on each end. There's nothing in the middle. But one going eastbound, that same transponder on the 16th of July cut across Alligator Alley and then presumably went up 75, which the phone records will show that. And then the return trip was the first one we found.
And did that help you identify the particular SunPass transponder by like an identification number?
Yes.
And is a particular SunPass transponder affiliated with a particular vehicle through some type of SunPass record?
Yes, it shows the customer who purchased the SunPass, and they submit what kind of vehicle it is, the tag number, in case the the transponder doesn't work, they could still use their credit because it'll take a picture of the tag.
All right, so what did you learn about the suspect vehicle at this time from the SunPass stuff?
It was a rental. It was a rental from a Miami car rental place called Save Gas.
Okay. Did law enforcement go to Save Gas
They
in
did.
Miami?
Yes,
Was there any documentation discovered at that business
There
related
was.
to the rental of this vehicle?
there was.
67. I'm going to approach and show you what I marked as state 67. Recognize state 67?
Yes,
Okay, is that the rental contract that you found at the Save Gas related to your suspect vehicle?
that's correct.
All right. Is it a fair and accurate copy of that exhibit or that
Yes.
document? Okay, moving to evidence state 67, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
State 67 is admitted.
Permission to publish 67.
You may.
And what did we learn about the people that rented the car from this state 67? Not on there? The vehicle.
According to this document, Luis Rivera, Normandy Drive in Miami, is the one that rented this car.
And did he provide a phone number for himself?
Yes,
Is that the number listed right here?
yes.
Okay. And any other drivers listed on the contract?
No driver listed there, but up in the top, you see the word brother and a phone number that became significant.
All right. And whose phone number were you able to associate? Who were you able to associate this phone number with? The brother.
Sigfredo Garcia,
When was this vehicle rented?
this on the 16th of July. I'm sorry, this shows 15th. 15th of July.
Okay. And when was it due back?
It was due back on the 17th of July.
Didn't go back on the 17th though.
No, I don't believe it got back till the 21st.
Okay. Approach and show you what I'm marking as state 65. Recognize state 65?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
This was a traffic citation that we discovered Luis Rivera received on I-75.
On I-75 on the way to Tallahassee in the Prius?
No, it was a different car. This was on a different. This was dated June 4th.
I'm sorry, I've showed you the wrong thing. we'll have to circle back to that. All right, let me ask you about phone. You mentioned that Sergeant Corbett was working on the phone records. I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 55. Recognize this exhibit?
I do.
It's this sort of an org chart of all the folks whose phone records we collected in this case, or many of them.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
And by stipulation, Judge, these phone numbers have been associated with the folks on the chart, so I'd ask to move into evidence State's 55.
Defense is stipulated.
Yes, no objection to the publishing.
55 is admitted at this time.
Publishing State's 55. Okay, well, we'll work on that too. We'll do that. All right. Now, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, those are the two subjects that you establish as being in the Prius. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And these are their phone numbers that have been associated with them listed beneath them.
Correct.
And we've got two different numbers for Luis Rivera. Is that right?
Rivera had two separate numbers, but his main one was the 570 that was on the rental contract.
All right. And the nicknames that are shown there, are those the nicknames that those two go by?
Correct. Tuto and Tato.
Tuto and Tato.
Correct.
Okay. Were you able to establish any link through people between the two that came in the Prius and the Adelson family?
No.
Okay. Were you able to establish any type, did you develop a theory or any evidence as to why these two people came to Tallahassee to murder Dan Markel?
Well, eventually we learned that the female, Catherine Magbanua, was the mother of Sigfredo Garcia's children and considered each other spouses, to my best understanding.
Okay, and
And
did
at the
she
same
have?
time,
Go ahead.
same time, we also found out that she had been dating and in a relationship with Charlie Adelson.
All right, so initially, was there any connection between these two guys from Miami and Dan Markel?
None.
All right, so this was the connection that was established, turned out to be Catherine Magbanua.
The only connection we could find.
Okay, and was that done through phone records and ultimately other communication records and testimony?
That's correct.
Okay. Did you, as a result of developing Catherine Magbanua as a potential suspect, investigate her at all?
Yes.
All right, and did that include an investigation into her employment?
That's correct.
What was her employment status around the time of this murder?
At the time of the murder, I believe she worked at another dental office somewhere, but post-murder, she started receiving compensation from the Adelson Institute.
What is the Adelson Institute?
It's a dental practice, according to online information operated by Harvey Adelson and Charlie Adelson.
Okay, and were the two of them dentists?
Yes, I believe Charlie is recognized as a periodontist.
Did you come to learn what Donna Adelson's role, if any, was in that business?
Yes, she was clerical and kept books for the business.
Did you attempt to procure some employment records from the Adelson Institute to verify Ms. Magbanowa's employment?
We did.
All right, tell us about that.
Myself and Special Agent Sanford from the FBI went to the office, physically to the office in Broward County, in Tamarack, and served a subpoena seeking records for the employment of Catherine Magbanowa, and we received nothing at the initial time. Later on, the best I could get from, I believe it was an attorney that represented that dental office, just a list of checks that were paid checks from the Adelson Institute to Catherine Magbanowa, but no W-2, no responsibility forms, nothing that showed what she actually did as being employed at that institute.
What was it, regular business hours when you entered there physically?
Yes.
Was Ms. Magbanowa present when you entered the building?
No.
Did the employees that you have contact with seem to know who she was or what it was that she did there?
The initial person that I spoke to at the desk, at the front desk, she had no idea who this person was, who Magbanowa was. The other person that came up to the front, she said she knew the name, but did not know what her responsibilities were with the company.
And the person that knew the name, who is that?
Erica Johnson, I believe.
And I'm going to approach and show you 68. Recognize 68?
Yes, this is all I received as far as any type of records for Magbanowa and her relationship with the Adelson Institute.
All right. And did the records include any job description for Ms. Magbanowa?
No.
Any employment application?
No.
Schedule?
No.
Timesheet?
Nope.
W-2 forms or tax filing records?
Nope.
Any performance evaluations?
None.
So only the checks.
Only the checks.
According to those checks, during what period of time was Catherine Magbanowa on the Adelson Institute payroll?
From September of 2014 all the way, this particular one shows March of 2016, but I believe it goes further than that into May 2016.
All right. So it starts shortly after the homicide, about 2 months?
Yes. Actually, the homicide happened July 18th, and the first check was dated September 18th.
For what pay period?
I don't see the pay period on this one.
But presumably she'd be paid for a pay period that had
2 weeks
concluded.
prior. According to the way this is laid out.
All right, and we are going to learn more about the bump or the undercover operation, but is it fair to say the checks terminated shortly after the undercover operation in 2016?
Yes.
Did you notice in your review of that exhibit, the documents provided by the Adelson Institute, that some of those check numbers were consecutive?
Yes, I did.
Who signed those checks?
Donna Adelson.
All of them?
Everyone.
Were you ever able to develop any evidence that Magbanowa was physically going to the Adelson Institute during these pay periods?
Never.
Any evidence that she performed some service off-site for that business?
Nothing was established that showed that.
Any evidence of any contact with any patients?
No.
And you were, we'll learn later, listening to some of her phone calls, right?
That's correct.
When was Catherine McBanois arrested for her role in this murder?
October 1, 2016,
Were you present for her arrest?
I was.
And was she allowed to contact her lawyer from the arrest scene?
Yes,
Did you speak to her attorney as well?
I did.
Who was her attorney?
Tara Kawas.
What happened after that phone call?
After Ms. Magbanwa was placed into a car for transport to the Broward County Jail, way less than 20 minutes later, I received a phone call on my phone.
Because lack of relevance, he's about to testify to something that has nothing to do with my client.
No disputed objections. Ms. Kappelman, please lay the foundation as to this matter in this trial.
Co-conspirator statement, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Go ahead, sir.
So so let me back up. So while Ms. Magbanwa was detained on scene, where she was arrested in the daytime, daylight hours, she was allowed to place a call to her attorney. She spoke to her attorney. I spoke to her attorney, and I asked that Ms. Kawas, the attorney representing her at the time, that she contact her client, Magbanwa, at the Broward County Jail, and if in fact she wanted to cooperate with the investigation, to call me back.
So you were
And-
interested in getting information from Ms. McBanois?
Correct. I wanted-
Information about the other parties involved in this case?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I mean by cooperation is if she wanted to provide testimony about other players in this. And so I told Ms. Kawas, if you'll talk to your client, obviously out of my presence, and if she decides to cooperate, call me back, and I will go to the Broward County Jail and meet.
And did that happen?
No.
What happened instead?
Well, like I said, within less than 20 minutes from that conversation, I received a phone call from a gentleman that identified himself as David Marcus. Instead, he was an attorney representing Charlie Adelson. And he asked that if Charlie Adelson was to be arrested, if I would just contact him.
Your Honor, my renewed objection, there's relevance, and this is not co-conspirator admission.
Specifically as a co-conspirator aspect, Ms. Kappelman, you need to keep the examination focused on that. Members of the jury, as to the last objection, I will sustain it. You may continue, Ms. Kappelman.
So you speak to Kawas, and your next phone call is from Charlie's lawyer.
Correct.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so at the time of this investigation, when it began, how long had you been with the Tallahassee Police Department?
25 years.
You'd spent vast majority of your career as an investigator detective.
No, I probably spent most of my career as a street officer.
Okay. At the time of this, how long had you been a detective?
6 years.
And you continue to be the lead for Tallahassee Police Department on this investigation until your retirement, correct?
Correct.
Now, it's important when you're conducting an investigation, especially a homicide investigation, for you to be thorough, correct?
Yes.
You don't want to leave essentially any stone unturned,
Yes.
obviously within reason.
Yes.
You talked about your agency beginning to obtain cellular phone records of the Adelson family pretty early on, correct?
Mm,
You started getting them in July?
yes.
Okay. And you learned that Wendy Adelson's parents, my client and her husband, lived in Miami, correct?
I believe at the time it was Coral Springs, but,
They had a place on Miami Beach?
well, I know that they ended up at Miami Beach. I don't recall at the time of the homicide if they were living on Miami Beach.
Okay. But you knew that they were in South Florida?
South Florida is correct.
Okay. And so as your investigation continued and you started looking into, you made the connection between the two individuals who drove up here, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. You made that connection to Catherine Megbanawa, correct?
Right.
And you made that connection to Charlie Adelson, correct?
Correct.
And then you see these large cash deposits into Katie McBanawa, or you see Katie McBanawa's unemployment status.
Right.
She's still paying her bills in South Florida.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned that you contacted the SunPass Authority.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever, you'd already made a connection between the investigation and the Adelson family at this point, pretty quickly.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Well, over a couple years. By the time June of 2016 comes, comes about, you've already made that connection.
Oh, yes. By that time, yes.
Okay. And you contacted the SunPass Authority for my client's SunPass records, correct?
No.
No, you didn't. Did you contact the Turnpike Authority for construction records for the Turnpike?
Construction records?
Yes.
No.
What about for I-95 or 595?
To my knowledge, there is no, and I believe I established that with the FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation, that there was no toll system on 95.
Okay. I was asked about construction records on 95.
I did not inquire about construction records.
What about accident records?
Accident records?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that my client and her husband shared an email address?
I believe they did.
You learned that during your investigation. In fact, I think Wendy said that, didn't she? In her interview with you?
I don't recall whether she said it.
Where is... Do you have 64 up here still? Thank you. Now, Mr. Isom, you identified emails that are contained in State's Exhibit 64, correct?
Yes.
And according to your testimony, these are emails between my client and her daughter, correct?
Yes.
Let's see. And in some of these emails, my client called Dan Markel bad names.
Yes.
She never actually said she hated him, did she, in any of these emails?
That came through the grandchildren.
Okay. At the time, the grandchildren were 3 and 4.
I don't recall the age. They were young.
And you also testified about a bribe. You are not a family law attorney, are you?
No.
Okay. And you have no idea whether or not it's permitted for one party to offer any sort of financial incentive to another party when it comes to relocation.
That's not in my realm.
And you also testified about Mr. Markel's life insurance policy, pension, and you said that those funds went to his children with Wendy as a custodian?
Some of them, and some of them was Dan Markel's sister as the custodian.
Okay. Did my client receive any financial benefit in the form of Danny's life insurance, his pension, or anything else?
Not that I could tell.
Going back to those emails, especially the one the state highlighted concerning the Catholic Church and dressing the kids up, Wendy didn't take those suggestions, did she?
No.
You testified just now concerning your attempt to obtain employment records for Miss Magbanua from the Adelson Institute. It's a small business, right?
It appeared to be.
Just a handful of employees?
Yeah, there was only 2 there at the time.
You don't know whether or not any of the employees had a written job description?
No, I do not know that.
You don't know if any of the employees' files had evaluations or job reviews?
I didn't see that. I would think with that type of business and working on people's mouths and so forth that there would be a little scrutiny involved.
But you don't know if they kept those records for any employee,
I have no
do you?
idea. I was only seeking and only had cause to seek for Magbanua.
And when Miss Magbanua was arrested, you testified that you received a call from someone who identified himself as Charlie's attorney, correct?
After her arrest, the gentleman that called my number was he identified himself as an attorney for Charlie Adelson.
Not Donna Adelson.
Not Donna.
Now, is it unusual in an investigation like this for a defense attorney to contact you about whether or not there's a warrant for their client's arrest?
I wouldn't say that. It was shocking to me that within that short a time frame, the only way that this person would have knowledge would be from Magbanua's attorney. So there would be contact between Magbanua's attorney and this person identifying himself as Charlie's attorney in a short, very short time. No media, nothing had been divulged.
So what you found unusual was the short time frame, not the phone call itself.
No, it was immediate, and I'm basically telling Kawas, if your client wants to cooperate, contact me. Don't call somebody else that's a co-conspirator, their attorney.
You didn't receive a call from anyone identifying themselves as Donna's attorney in that instant, did you?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Kappelman asked you about what has been coined that grandmother motion. Again, you're not a family law attorney.
Right, still not.
And so although you read the motion,
Yes.
and you're educated, absent having some legal knowledge, can you interpret what is being requested in the motion?
I believe so. I think it's pretty plain.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Now, I want to go back to the emails, and I'm going to use the board. The emails that you testified were between my client and her mother.
I just if we needed to take a break.
I'm show you 64 EE. Let's see. The sender of this email is not Donna Adelson, is it?
No, it doesn't. I don't know who it's from. It's not showing it.
Okay, it's an evite.com invitation.
I've seen those.
Okay. You don't have any personal knowledge as to how these are generated, do you?
Someone has to go through this program to get it set up and sent out.
But you don't have any personal knowledge as to how that's done, do you?
No.
The next page of EE, it's a August 30th, 2014 email to Wendy. Now, the sender is donnaharvey@gmail.com, correct?
That's correct.
Whose name is next to that?
Harvey Adelson.
That's not Donna Adelson, is it?
I believe that's her. I believe that's her husband.
Next. It's an email dated September 12th, 2014. And the sender is saying that Lincoln will attend Tot Shabbat with his grandpa, Harvey Adelson. Isn't that what it says?
Yes, it does.
Who's it from?
It's from DonnaHarvey@gmail.com.
And whose name is next to that?
It says Harvey Adelson.
I'm going to show you 64FF. This is, again, from Donna Harvey@gmail.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Whose name is it there?
Where it says from,
Yes.
it says Harvey Adelson.
Okay. Wendy, this is the information on work order for repair of TV, Friday, July 18th, between 8 and 12. Love, Dad. My
Yes.
client's not Dad, is she?
I wouldn't refer to him as that. I don't think she would either.
This is still part of that same email, the Geek Squad schedule. Would you be willing to accept a sooner appointment if one becomes available? Do you see that language?
Yes.
What's the answer underneath that?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect examination. Go ahead.
I'll use the projector. Defense pointed out, hey, Harvey and Donna share an email address, right?
Yeah.
DonnaHarvey@gmail.com. And some of these are signed Dad.
Right.
Are some of them signed Mom?
Right.
Okay, and drawing your attention to this one on May 3rd, 2013, including the statement, the most important part of your divorce is relocation. On page 4 of that exhibit, well, let me start by going to the very end. Inconveniently, the way this printed, love you. Who signed that one?
Mom.
All right, and on page 4 of the exhibit, just a moment. State's Exhibit W, this is one from Thursday, June 27th, 2013. It's signed Mom and Dad, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And in this one, all right, so we've got some from Mom and Dad, right?
That's correct.
No further questions.
You may step down, Mr. Isom. Will he be retained?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may be recalled at some point in the trial. Please remain in contact with the attorneys. What's that?
Am I under the rule?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. You're welcome. Members of the jury will take a break at this point briefly. The bailiff will take you to the jury room.